Dr. Fauci, Dr. Walensky, we're going to be passing out some pictures. These are pictures that were taken just last week during the trip that I took along with 10 of my colleagues to the southern border over in McAllen, Texas, some from the border in McAllen at a temporary processing center, some at the Donna detention facility, where you can see in some of these cells they're holding people. I'll let you take a look at those, but while you're reviewing those pictures, I'd like to read the CDC guidance that y'all have issued on Mexico. And first it says level 4, which is the highest level, very high level of COVID-19 in Mexico. This is CDC. 1, travelers should avoid all travel to Mexico. That's CDC guidelines. Because of the current situation in Mexico, even fully vaccinated travelers may be at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 variants and should avoid all travel to Mexico. This is CDC. You go on to say some other things. Then we talk about traveling back into the United States. This is only if you're an American citizen. All air passengers coming to the United States, including U.S. citizens and fully vaccinated people, are required to have COVID-19 test results no more than 3 days before travel or documentation of recovery from COVID-19 in the past 3 months before they board a flight to the United States. That's a CDC guidance document. So first, Dr. Walensky, should everybody who comes in the United States follow this guidance, not just American citizens, but everybody coming into the United States?
The CDC guidance by air is guidance not just coming from Mexico, it's air travel from all over the country.
So Guatemala, for example, should
it's
follow
all over
this
the
guidance.
globe, Europe, everywhere.
El Salvador should follow this guidance?
All over the globe, if you travel by air.
I appreciate you answering that, because we'll get to that in a minute, because on my flight back from McAllen back home to New Orleans, about half of the plane were some of the people that are in these pictures who were getting on these flights not being tested for COVID in violation of your guidance. So let me ask you, and this is, by the way, Secretary Mayorkas just recently testified that he admitted that apprehended migrants were released before getting a COVID test, who came from Mexico, from El Salvador, and getting on an airplane. Is that in violation of CDC guidance?
The CDC is providing technical assistance to the Office of Refugee Resettlement for the people who are leaving the DHS and customs.
So let me ask you specifically, if somebody came from one of those countries that you just listed, you said every country, but here you're specifically talking about Mexico. If they came from Mexico and then got on an airplane without a COVID test, does that violate CDC guidance?
This is guidance. It's not law, but these are the recommendations.
Okay, so it doesn't say recommendation. This says all are required. That's not a recommendation, Dr. Walensky. That's a requirement by the federal government for American citizens. Is there an exemption for people who come here illegally to this guidance? It's a yes or no question. Should everybody comply? Or
everybody
just
coming
citizens?
into the United States by air is supposed to have a test 1 to 3 days before coming and 3 to 5 days.
Okay, well then let me just advise you that the Director of Homeland Security has testified that that's not happening.